Hello everyone, welcome to the update video and Q&A that I said I was gonna be doing. So yeah, here it is. Now, I'm gonna get straight to the main point, thing which a lot of people have been asking about. Yes, there is gonna be a second season of Black and White. I'm pretty sure I mentioned that before. I think I did. Anyway, yes, there is going to be a second season. However, I am unsure of what date it will actually start coming out. It will either be at the end or towards the end of my new series I'm going to be starting, BW High. So they're going to be after or towards the end, depending on how things plan out and all that. Of course, there's always a chance that I might not end up doing the second season for some unseen reason, which I hope not, because I sure want to keep on doing the series. I'm enjoying making it. And this also leads on to my new series, BW High, which will be starting in 3 weeks, around about 3-4 weeks. I also have like a little trailer thing come out just before, so that's coming. No, and as to like how long it's going to be going, I am unsure as to exact length. I'm initially planning 10 to 20 in that range. Not entirely sure, depends on how much I want to do in the first season, because I am going to be doing other seasons of, as you imagine, this sort of thing. So yeah, there's all that going on. Got everything set up to actually do all the stuff, just actually making it now. Also, I should note, there's going to be a change in Lisa's voice actor. I haven't heard anything from the previous one about how she's doing. However, that I'm still going to be changing it, even if she does come back, because the new voice actor I'm having is Australian. And I'm Australian, so it'll make more sense accent-wise and all that. So that's sort of the main reason for the change. Also, there's going to be a change in Bertha's voice actor, unfortunately. Though it was only for the one episode. Unfortunately, some things came up with the voice actor, and unfortunately he's unable to continue for this series. So yeah, just those two notes. Also, gone the other voice actor is taking a while to get in. He's now joined us. So yeah, everything's all good on that front, apart from those two changes. Hopefully not too big of a thing. So yeah. Also, and something I'm planning on doing is possibly some more videos with the voice actors, play games and all that as a casual thing. Just off to the side. And being that currently Easter holidays here in Australia, I'm gonna actually be able to do that because I can either stay up late or get up early, depending on what it is, to actually record and do all that. So that's something I want to do a bit more. And yeah, so that's it for the updates. Now we go on to the Q&A. Okay, so I've got questions up in front of me. So, starting off by Mike Wickland, something like that. What mods do you use? So in terms of actually doing the roleplay side of things, like not counting all extra stuff, the main ones, which is pretty much the most anyone would use, is custom NPCs, as well as custom player models. Those are two main ones, as well as world edit for building stuff. There's a dog currently yapping outside. Let's see what else. There's those. And I also use the replay mod in order to make all the little cutscene type ones. Or like cutscenes. That dog is really going. What's that, dog? I don't even know what's barking at. It's like late at night right now. I'm recording this quite late. Shut up. Good. Okay. So yeah, I'm not sure if you can actually hear that or not. You might not actually be able to hear that, and I'm just talking to nothing. Anyway, so yeah, I use replay mod for the like cutscenes with the character's head moving. So yeah, so again, if you got like body actors, yeah, that's the right word. I would say like just like record it in the actual thing rather than using replay mod, as there are some things which is just a bit messy about it. But yeah, so, like again, body actors are better because you don't get all the messy stuff that comes with the replay mod and it trying to do its thing. So yeah, I don't want. And something like the side mods that I guess like help chisel and bits for the more detailed stuff. Chisel for the more blocks. What else? Prop mod, the deco craft mod, that one. For extra stuff, as well as Mr. Crayfish's furniture mod as well for extra stuff. They're the sort of main ones. I use other mods like Botania, Blood Magic and that sort of stuff for like extra props or stuff like that. Those are not stuff you really need. So yeah, they're the mods that I use. Okay, next question by again Mike Wickland. It's a UNICEF and it's throwing me off. What advice would you give people who might make roleplays in the future? It's so like different for every person, because like for me, like the idea of black and white started out very different, and the way it came to be is very complicated. But I guess like basic points are good first impression, I guess, like don't have it all. Like good first impressions are really important, because again, majority of people are going to be seeing the first episode, and that's where they're going to be probably basing everything off. I know, because my most popular video is the first episode of Black and White. So yeah, first impressions are important. I want to say, make sure you know what the story is. Like, don't start something and just don't know where you're going to go with it. Like, for me, I have like the basic, like the way I plan out the Black and White and how I'm playing out BW High is I've got like important like key events and then have stuff in between. That's how I like plan out somewhat what you're going to be doing, and depending on who you are, maybe plan out even more or whatever. Just make sure you get key points in, and make sure you're consistent as well. Consistency is kind of important for these sort of things. And there's some other stuff. First impressions, consistency, all that. Try to go for an interesting story as well, I guess. That's quite important. And also like try to throw in like little like tidbits, like little interesting stuff that people who watch might notice. Like for example, if you watch some of my videos, you'll notice a lot of like little bits and pieces, important details which you don't really notice. No, like there's quite important things. Like in one episode, I believe, I can't remember which one is. No, it's a semi-important episode, but at the end of it, with the camera panning out, you'll see a certain someone at the gates. Again, and that certain someone just so happens to be Kira. So yeah, having like little things, little details, important details is quite good to have as well. Just for people later on, or just people noticing that, like, that shows you're thinking about what you're doing. Anything else? Make sure you enjoy making the roleplay itself, actually. That's It's important because if you don't enjoy doing it, then you lose the motivation for doing it. It's something I've seen happen with a couple of people doing role plays. They make it and then they just lose the motivation to continue doing it. So make sure it's something that you want to do. Like Black and White is something I'm really quite invested in. Like I enjoy making it, and I enjoy making the story. I enjoy making the videos, and I enjoy giving it out to you people to watch. So yeah, make sure you enjoy it. Let's see. That's all off the top of my head that I can think of. There's probably other stuff as well, but those are the things that I can think off the top of my head which are important. So yeah, those things which I forgotten. First impressions, details, consistent story, know what your story is, little extra bits just so you know what you're doing, people like that, I think. And make sure you enjoy doing the videos, making them, and as well as enjoy the story. Those are some advice. I'm not the type of person you ask advice for. The same right now. That was a long one. Wow. Just so you know, I have a tendency to go on rants when it's something I'm quite particular about. I can go on quite some rants. Okay. I'm pretty sure you can't actually hear that. Like, there's some noise in the background, but looking at the recording thing, I don't think you can actually hear that, which I hope is the case. Anyway, next thing. Now, this is one I'm actually glad that someone's done this. Like, someone's come up with a little theory. Now, here's the thing. I'm not going to say whether or not the theory is right or not, because it's a theory. Sometimes theories need to be built on, and it's only the first season. So yeah, this is by Use Gaming. So yeah, Leeham, I have a theory which needs answering. Right now, my theory is Sarah. It's Rose, not Sarah. Rose. Rose is David's kid. Is Rose the seal mentioned, and is Rose's mother the seal maker, as it is never mentioned if she died. Good? No, just saying that. Good note. Yeah, something else to note. I like using certain words in particular situations to make it seem one thing but it's actually another. Again, the fact I never mentioned that she was dead. I like that you picked that up, you. Yeah, we know she is presumed dead, but it's not confirmed. Again, I like that you picked up on that little bit of detail. I'm not gonna say whether or not she is actually dead or not, but I like that you picked up on that bit of detail. Plus, to explain what seems to be some aspect of the soul that resides in her. Could it be that the seal is more than just that? Could it be an attempt to make the fragments whole again? Now, when you say fragments, I'm gonna presume you mean fragments of soul. And that the seal is something that's in Rose. Now, with the whole aspect of soul thing, I'm guessing we're talking about the magic that she could do. And this is something I'm actually going to be pointing out, like, this is something that should be of notice, but I'm just going to say anyway. If you go back to to the video of attacking the bandits camp, whichever one that was, with the rescuing of Rose and that, you'll notice that the character, the wolf bandit, yes, it was a werewolf, the magic, ice magic, you'll notice that his hair changes, was different coloured. You know, it's like blue, like ice. And that's sort of like the whole thing with magic in this world, is that the person's hair shows what kind of magic they can use. Though, note that's not fully like it's not completely that colored. It's not completely that one color. It's just like little bit, no, like noticeable but not outright. Oh yeah, they do this. But yeah, but when you look at Kira and Rose, their hair goes completely whatever color. Like Kira goes completely black. And note that Kira is, as he says, a sorcerer of darkness, so she uses dark magic. Rose is a more interesting case because her hair went both red and blue, fire and water. Something to note. And that's all I'm going to say at this point. So it'll be interesting to see how this theory of yours continues on you as we get more into detail as to what's going on. So yeah, on to the next thing. So this is from Sushi Lover 06. Loved the video, thanks. Also in the future, can you make a modded server and play with your subscribers? That's a bit debatable because again, like modded server, again you've got mods and it's a server with a whole bunch of people, so that makes it sort of because again lots of people in one thing. There's some, I'm just not sure, like at this point probably not, but maybe in the future, maybe, I'm not entirely sure on that, but that's something to think about. So Architect 04 asks, how did you come up with the storyline for this series? Now, as I mentioned before, I'm pretty sure, is that this series came a long way from what the very original idea was, which wasn't even like a roleplay series. Like, to give you an idea of how much the story of this series changed from what it was originally was, note that black and white, like the original, like my character was originally part of my own Undertale AU. That's how far we've come from my one character coming from Undertale AU to this. And like there's a lot of stuff that's changed in between. Like it was mostly influenced by the fact that there was a point where I was watching a fair amount of Undertale stuff, as well as I managed to get into my Minecraft roleplays somehow after YouTube suggesting me them. Yeah, that I led to some stuff. And eventually the development of the very basis of what the story was. I'm sure you could see where some of the influence from when it was like an Undertale, like very Undertale related type of thing in the early, very early episodes. You could see that. And then sort of just like changed from there. Like, you see, my personality is very much the one, like, I'm not exactly sure what it is exactly, I can't remember off the top of my head, but essentially like, I have a lot going on in my head, lots of processing of thoughts and stuff, and yeah, and like very philosophical in the way that I think of things, as if that wasn't somewhat obvious. So yeah, like, and like I'm influenced by a lot of things, as I said, like Undertale, other Minecraft roleplays, probably other things that I've watched in the making of this changed it, like videos, games, all sorts of stuff would have influenced this. Music as well, like there are some songs that have actually somewhat given, like some of the songs built the story, essentially, like built part of the story, like songs, just songs made part of this, have made part of the main story. Like, I'm not sure how to explain, like they helped me come up with some of the main points in the story. I don't even say what songs they were because I just can't be bothered what songs they were. There's a fair amount. Like, Black and White is a very open, I guess, series. Like, it's very open in terms of, like, the story contains quite a amount. Like, as I said, I've got key points down. Like, I've got key, like, things all thought out and all that. But the in-between stuff, like, that's very susceptible to, like, this changing and all that. Like, a lot of stuff that's happened in previous episodes, which were just so happened to happen, have actually gone to be important factors in the story. I'm not going to say which points they were, you'll find out eventually. But yeah, so, like, there's one episode which created a character that I haven't even thought of making. That's how convoluted it was coming up with the storyline for the series. Like, when the episodes themselves were making the story. That's, yeah. So it's quite a, yeah. Very hard to put into words. And I guess that'll be it for that question. My head's starting to hurt. I'm trying to think of answers. Okay. Next question. By Use Gaming Once More. What textures and mods do you use? So I've already gone over what mods I've used, but textures, like, the main texture pack that I use is called Smooth Realistic. That's the texture pack that I use. That, and essentially I'll change some stuff. Like, I've also got another texture pack. Let's see. I think it's is that? Yeah. Zorus's 3D weapons pack as well, for the fancy weapons you saw towards the end, the very last episode. Those came from, well, more it helped making those. Like, those, I used that texture pack in order to get those models, and, like, yeah, essentially I used that in order to get the models. And so yeah, that. And, like, I'll change, like, some of the actual, like, entity or images or whatever for some of the textures for some items to use temporarily. Like, for example, the Blood Bros was, and this is a retextured item, as well as the necklace. That was also a retextured item that I did myself. So yeah. The main one I'll be using really is the Smooth Realistic texture pack, because I kind of like it. Like, it's very clean. I find, like, I could use, like, a medieval texture pack, but I find those to be very dull, which I didn't really want. So yeah, that's, yeah, answering that question. Again, by Use Gaming. Is the community Discord? No, though I might make one eventually at some point, maybe, possibly, I don't know. So yeah, maybe community Discord at some point in the future, maybe. Again, by Use Gaming. What inspired you to make this? Nothing really inspired me to make Black and White. It's sort of just came about. Like, I just had random, like, again, it was originally an Undertale AU, like, I just had random thought of this character, this thing, and Undertale AU's type thing, and it just, yeah, somehow turned to this. Like, if you were to look at if you look at the very original idea of Black and White, like as it was originally as the Undertale AU type thing, compared to now, the only similarities would be my character, and even then that's the only similarity is my character. That's the only similarity between what Black and White was originally between what it is now. But I guess like what got me to actually make Black and White as it is now is just watching other people make these Minecraft roleplays, and eventually just got to a point where I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make this. I'm gonna see how it goes, and we'll go on from there. And I'm glad I did. Normally I'm not one for doing like starting new things, but after enough watching my smaller YouTubers doing Minecraft roleplays themselves, eventually I just decided, you know what, screw it, I'm just gonna do it. Yeah. Those are two forms of inspired, I guess. Oh yeah. And again, by Use Gaming, you've got a lot of questions. Did you ever expect to grow this large in sub count? To be honest, no, I did not think I'd get to this. I never expect I'd get to wait, what? Wait, what? Wait, what? YouTube, you're lying to me. It says in my in the creator profile thing that I'm on 2k subscribers, but I'm actually at 1.5. YouTube, yeah. It was, for a moment I was thinking that it's only gone to 2k, but no, I'm 1.5. But yeah, no, I didn't think I would get like this far. Like this, like considering when I first started this, I was like, I don't even know what I was at, maybe like 30, maybe 40 subscribers, maybe, when I started this. And like, after 4 episodes I got to 100. And from there, it sort of just blew up, I guess. Like, I've always considered episode 4, which is, if I'm not mistaken, the one where story really, like episode 4 is sort of like the point where the story of Black and White really begins to like starts to become of quite of interest. Like episode 4 is like, episode 4 I consider to be like the big first episode of Black and White, like the big first major episode, which, yeah, as I said, I'm pretty sure it's after episode 4 that I reached the first 100, and then it sort of just blew up from there. Yeah. No, I did not expect to grow this large in sub count. Okay, and again, by Use Gaming. You've got a lot of questions, so I'm so glad because it gives me a lot to talk about. What other series are you playing? So again, it's BW High, and I'm going to have multiple series of that, as well as probably like afterwards type series, so like Afmail has with my stream, my lane, I don't know, something like that. It's a bad I can't remember the name. But yeah, still like that, I guess, is what I'm planning, because I do actually have a bit of a major plot line in that, in the background, that's going to be going on. So yeah. Another series, like, I do have ideas of other things as to other things that I would like to do, like other series that I would consider starting at some point in the future. Like, again, like, I'm someone who's always thinking of stuff, like there's always stuff going on in my head, so I'm gonna have a couple of things constantly at once. So yeah, I am planning other stuff as well. Again, by Use Gaming. What recording software do you use? So for voice, like what I'm doing now with like just voice, I use Audacity to actually record like like use replay mods for the replay mod for like the shortcut thing for the completely forgotten. Basically scenes where like the characters are talking. I use replay mod for that, and I use OBS for other malicious like other stuff, like especially at like the beginning episodes with me like voicing everything. Like I did that with all OBS. So yeah. I use gaming. Am I you joking? No. Okay, we're just gonna move on to that. Use gaming. Are you laughing at how many questions I have? Somewhat. I'm somewhat laughing. Again, I don't know why I am somewhat laughing at how many questions you have. But again, it's still a good thing because it means I have a lot to talk about, and I have no idea how long this has been going on for. So again, thank you for all the questions, because yay. And one more. Use gaming. I should have put them into one comment. Yeah, you probably should have. But then yeah, no, you should have put them into one comment. I have no idea how long I've been going through all this. And as I said at the start, which I don't even know how long ago it was. Oh wait, I missed one. Ooh. Almost missed this. By Margaret Estrada, I believe is how you say it. What is your favorite character in the series? I almost forgot about that. I'd seen I've been wanting to answer this, but I completely forgot about it. So favorite character in the series. Well, my favorite character in the series is actually one that hasn't been introduced yet. It's been mentioned, but they haven't been actually introduced into the series. And they're my favorite because they're sort of the character that changed the most from what I originally had them as. Like, I had them thought out, like, I originally had this character at the very start of when I was thinking of this series. Like, they were at the very start, and they've changed a lot up until now, and they're probably still going to go through some changes even now. But in terms of characters that are currently in the series, I would have to say Kira. Kira is my favorite character in the series, funnily enough. It's crazy. Crazy? As far as I don't know if I would say crazy. Megalomaniac? Yeah, Megalomaniac is one called Kira. I want to say Kara. Yeah. Kira is my favorite character in the series, as well as characters you know of. There's a backstory to her, which you'll eventually find out, but yeah, which gives reasons to why she's doing what she's doing, and it's sort of like, I don't know, like, Kira's the most interesting character for me, which is why they're my favorite. Like, I like interesting characters, which is why I like this other character, because they're quite interesting. But yeah, Kira's an interesting character because, as I mentioned before, her whole hair goes black instead of just partially, like as what it would with other people who have magics. She has black, like goes completely black, which makes her interesting at one point. And also, there's another point which is due to the fact that she uses dark magic. Though, that's something that you'll all learn about later on. Something which really makes the whole thing more interesting. Yeah, and also like the fact that Kira the Star was like a mysterious character. Like, you could tell she wasn't good at this. Like when you first meet her, there's something going on at the start, but you don't know what. And then this turns into her trying to, yeah, I'd say kill maybe brainwash everyone. Yeah. But yeah, there's a lot of interesting stuff to cure which I've had planned out, which will come into fruition in later seasons. And yeah. Okay. Now that is all of them, I do believe. Yep, that's all the questions. So thank you for all that, especially Used Gaming, for all those questions. And yeah, can't wait to start showing off a new series, BW High. Can't wait to get that out, and I can't wait to start season 2 of Black and White, because a whole bunch of new characters going to be introduced for that. Yes, I've already planned it out somewhat, as I've said. And yeah, it's going to be interesting because I'm going to start getting a bit more into the backstory. Oh, yeah. And also just like side notes of a series that I think I want to point out. Notice how with like people who use elemental magics in the series in Black and White. Notice how with them like their hair changes color. But with people like my character, Lisa, Arthur, and Liara, yeah. With Liara, you'll have to go back to some of the early episodes this year, but you'll notice that with them, it's their eyes that change colour for them rather than their hair. Something I think I just figured I'd point out. And yeah, so I just figured I'd point out. And again, no, as I said before, I like to use keywords in certain situations. For example, in the final episode, when it's going through that whole thing of the seal maker and that, notice how I use the word when our time finally comes instead of when our time comes. I use finally comes. Just make a note of that, because there is a difference between the two words in terms of context when you use them. There's something to think about, I guess, as a last note. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this update and Q&A video. I'm pretty sure it's been on much longer than I thought it would. Oh well. Until next time, I shall see you all later. See ya.